So OOU recently sent me out this 15-piece knife set. We're going to be doing a super quick unboxing and focusing on a cutting test today. We're going to be cutting some carrots and some cucumbers and then going over everything that comes inside the box here, every knife, all the accessories. So with that being said, let's go ahead and cut to a different angle of us unboxing this, and then we'll cut to that cutting test. All right, so we will ironically need a knife to open this box full of knives. Let's go ahead and get this open. All right, so we just have some paperwork up top, some cardboard. Looks like all of our knives are gonna be in here. So I'm gonna set that down, be careful with that. Then we have the block right here. And I believe that's gonna be everything that's in the box. All right, so I'm just gonna use the bubble wrap to pull that out, put the box to the side. It does seem very well packaged, so I really doubt anything's gonna be getting messed up. This does look like a wooden block here. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at that. And be careful with the silica packets. Honestly, the base isn't super heavy. On the bottom here, you guys could see all the holes for the knives. So hopefully, if there is any moisture left on the knife when you guys put them in, it should just leak out and go on your counter because it is elevated on some rubber feet. So it looks pretty straightforward. I don't see a built-in knife sharpener, but let's go ahead and take a look at the knives. All right, so we do get some scissors. They look pretty nice. We do get the bottle opener on them. They just look like some pretty nice kitchen scissors. All right, so it looks like we get a really sharp slicing knife here, and this is an 8-inch knife. So I believe that's gonna go right up top. And I did wanna point out just how pretty these handles are. They have this wood design to them. And right here is our classic edge knife. So this is really good for cutting bread. That's what I usually use these for. So I'm gonna put that one right there. All right, so we get another chopping knife here. This is a really big one. Once again, it looks beautiful, super sharp. Definitely be careful with these. So it does look like we get a hand sharpener here. Looks pretty nice, a little different than my other knife set over there. And then we have a really small slicing knife here. I really like the way that these handles are looking. The blade's super sharp. All right, and then here is going to be our steak knife. We should get a bunch of these, maybe 6 or 7, and these are just going to go right in here. All right, then we get another giant slicing knife. This thing looks huge. I think that's going to be really helpful for when I'm cutting up some roast. And obviously, you guys should clean all of these before use. I just wanted to give you guys a general idea of what these are going to look like. Then we have another utility knife here. And once again, just a super sharp, thin blade. I'm going to stick that right there. All right, so from here, it should just be all of those steak knives. So I'm going to go ahead and get this all set up. And then we're just going to go ahead and cut to the cutting test. All right, guys, so we're going to start off with the 7-inch slicing knife. Just gonna do a few cuts on the carrot at first, and I'm putting very little pressure on this knife right here to get those cuts. So it seems super sharp, and the blade looks still pretty clean. Not a lot of stuff stuck on there. So definitely a pretty sharp knife here. Let's go ahead and move on to another slicing knife and try this one out. And we'll go to the smaller one. Once again, cuts about the same. I think this is going to be one of the more sharp knives here. Let's try this one out. And this one, I could definitely notice a difference. It cuts through this huge carrot with ease. Definitely a nice knife there. Let's try out this utility knife here. This one also looked pretty sharp. Blade feels a little bit more flexible because it's longer. Doesn't cut quite as well as the other one, but then again, it is just a utility knife. That's the bread knife. We could probably pass on that one. Then we do have this slicing knife here. This one, just because of the size and the leverage you get with it, it's probably the best slicing knife of the bunch. Definitely really like that one. So let's go ahead and try out the cucumber. Let's put all the carrots over here. I'm making some soup later with the carrots, so we'll go ahead and give that a try. All right, so back to the 7-inch slicing knife. Cuts through this cucumber with ease. Man, that is able to get you really, really thin cucumber slices and doesn't require a lot of effort whatsoever. So I really like that knife. We're going to put it a little higher up so I don't get them mixed up. Let's try the utility knife, and once again, super smooth cuts. Very satisfying. Now we're moving on to this little slicing knife. One of the sharpest of the bunch. Really easy to cut this cucumber with this. Super smooth. Now let's try the Big Chef slicing knife. You could get super small slices with this, and it's easy to be very accurate with your cuts. So you can see just how thin we went. Went so thin you could see through the cucumber there. All right, I think we have one more knife here to try out. We have the slicing 8-inch. So let's go ahead and give that a try. Very similar cut. If I had to choose a favorite for the cucumber, it's gonna be the chef knife right here. So let's go and test out the scissors here, see how sharp they are. If we could cut a carrot, be pretty impressed. It did. Definitely not bad there. And all the other knives are really for something else. This is gonna be your steak knife, and then this one up top is gonna be for slicing bread. So overall, really cool set. I'm gonna go ahead and clean everything here, but that's it for my super quick unboxing and cutting test of the OOU 15-piece knife set.